Okay, so how's everybody doing today? I'm out in beautiful rural Lake County, Florida, driving my good old 83 300D. We're at 388,939 miles, and this is the Green Swamp. This is the cradle of life in the middle of Central Florida, where hopefully they don't ever build and develop stuff. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about a topic that some of you might not be interested in, but I'm sure I'll get about 500 viewers. I recently found out about a week ago that I lost the election for regional director for the Southeast Regional Directorship of MBCA. And so the votes came in, and I got 59 votes, and my opponent got 120 votes. People don't really care about this stuff. It's just not important. And there are about 1,150 voting members in the Southeast here, and we captured about 11% of those people went out and voted. So here we are in Polk County. What can I say? I mean, this is probably my fault. One of my friends said, Pierre, you didn't provide a photo, you didn't provide a description. And yeah, I didn't provide those things. There are two reasons for that. Number one, the National Business Office never actually notified me that they needed those items. So I'm not saying that I didn't have them on file or ready, but I never received like a request for them. And I didn't know that I was supposed to provide them, so I didn't provide them. Stupid me. Well, that's all my fault, right? Second of all, not having a bio and not having a photo, there was this thought in the back of my mind where I was scared somebody would take my bio and try to use it as an endorsement. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, except at MBCA there's a rule where if a section reprints your bio or tries to endorse you, then you get kicked out of the race. So no section endorsement. So technically, if somebody wanted to weaponize a person's bio against them, they could just reprint it and then get them kicked out of the race because they didn't like them. And so ultimately I had the thought that if I printed a bio, that might have happened. Anyway, whatever. I lost. That's probably a good that's probably a good reason why I lost. That and the fact that I don't think that even the members of the MBCA care about the success of that car club. So I've been trying to get my subscribers, classic Mercedes owners, MBCA members to care about their car club, to make it better, to make it a preservation vehicle for older Mercedes. It's pretty clear with this outcome of 120 votes to basically 60 votes. Okay, we'll say 59, but 120 to 60. I lost by exactly 50% plus one. Just so you know. But it's pretty clear that if about 180 people voted in the election, it's pretty clear that nobody cares. And so, long story short, me trying to actually get people to care about MBCA, as has been pointed out by many of my subscribers, is a total waste of time. Now, why did I care about MBCA so much? Because I thought it would be nice to have a club that was dedicated to the preservation of classic Mercedes. And I said, MBCA has laid the groundwork. I don't understand why we can't just get more people into the club, pack the club with true enthusiasts and not people just go out and buy a new car every 5 years, and build a car club inside the car club. I guess it's not going to work. Now I have to go through the whole thing of adding infrastructure and creating infrastructure, creating leadership, building a brand, another Mercedes Club brand, finding some people who like this idea as much as I do, which those people do exist, and creating the infrastructure for a club that might totally be dedicated to classic Mercedes. Now, do I want to do this just because I lost the election for RD? No. I mean, I've always wanted a club dedicated to classic Mercedes ownership. I always have. And MBCA may do that or they may not do it. But there are some upsides to the fact that I lost this election. I think the first upside is that I am not the most well-liked person on the national board. In fact, I'm viewed as kind of an arrogant asshole. I don't think that a lot of people in MBCA leadership like me that much because I've said some things about them that may not have been the most flattering. Now, I typically have supported our most recent president, Julie. I think Julie's trying to do her best. I think she's listening. I don't really have anything bad to say about Julie. I know that our executive director, Mike, Mike is kind of pulled in all different directions trying to run the MBCA. His position isn't even a political position. So I can't really be mad at them. But there are some people that I'm not going to name because one of them actually had even talked about suing me, which is ridiculous. You can't sue somebody for criticizing you for not working hard enough. But there are some people like our vice president who wanted to sue me because I called him out for doing what I think is an inadequate job. And so I'm sure
in 1 mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Commonwealth Avenue North.
I'm sure there's some people out there that are really happy that I did not win. Let's just put it that way. And you know what? That's okay because I'm going to have more time to dedicate to the shop. As most of you know, I love my shop. My shop is my business. It's my livelihood. It's my favorite thing in the whole world. There's nothing more that I love than walking to that shop every day and turning the lights on everybody's Mercedes there that I'm working on. That's a lot of fun. I was hoping to transfer that passion into MBCA, but I guess people in the MBCA
at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Commonwealth Avenue North.
Yeah, okay, Siri. Who hates Siri? Hands up, right here. Siri's totally useless. Anyway, what I've learned is that when there are 59 people who vote for you and the other 1,000...
In 5.3 miles, turn left onto Broadway Boulevard Southeast.
The other 1,150 people, or the other 1,100 or so people are asleep at the wheel. It kind of makes you think that either people in your local region don't like you, they don't know you, maybe they don't care about what you're doing. I don't know, but maybe this whole thing about saving classic Mercedes or whatever just has to be done outside of the MBCA. I'm not going to get offended by it. I'm not going to point fingers and say, oh, the numbers were rigged, because for all we know, they use a company called Election Services that does this stuff fairly, it's a closed process. They try to do their best to keep it fair and reliable or whatever. So I'm not going to complain about the results, but I am going to say that as long as people keep electing ineffective leadership into MBCA, it's not going to get any better. It's just going to be a car club for rich people who like to socialize and brag about their newest cars. And then there will be a small minority of people like myself who really appreciate Mercedes classics. And, if people like our president can turn this club around and make it into a better club, then all power to you. I'm here to help you guys however I can, but I'm not going to try to run for a position. I think that it's probably the work of God that I did not succeed in getting elected, and I don't need an election to a car club like this to make me able to help people with these cars. You know, they need me. MBCA board, I'm saying. They need me. I don't need them. And that's that. Anyway, for those of you that were wondering about the results of this election, all 59 of you, I wanted to make a video. And let's just keep rescuing classic Mercedes. We don't need any help to do this. We've got our brains in our hands. Thank you.